Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Wednesday afternoon, October 11th. We are looking at window traders, market profile of the ES and NQ. So right off the bat, we end up with an inside day in the S&P. So technically, that doesn't stop your one-time framing on the daily, but for now, I would call the daily up to balance. Righty goes out with a double distribution day to the downside. They took back yesterday's trend day, and they go out with a trend day today to the downside. Yesterday was a nice P shape, today is a nice B shape. Here we are in the maintenance session pushing high, but again, that does not take back the trend day. They did take out yesterday's high, they just missed taking out yesterday's low, so technically they are still one-time framing up firmly on the daily. NQ also barely took out yesterday's high, but didn't come anywhere near yesterday's low, held the trend day, took out both overnights, but end with nothing to lean on. They're only 8 wide. I thought for sure we would end 9 wide, but we never did. As far as we go in ES and SPY, take out both overnights, take out both IBs, and then with nothing in the meat of the profile. We're 8 wide, which after being lowered earlier in the day, we come back and raise it twice late in the day. We attempted to go trend down 3 times, failed. We took back yesterday's trend day. That's all the sellers were able to accomplish. We go out with a price pro, but not much of one, so I wouldn't be using A's high as a reference point for tomorrow. I have a lot of traders. I have 4 traders here for the next couple of days. A bunch of them came in already, sitting in my house right now, which is cool. I'm looking forward to the next 2 days. I will be doing the videos in the morning. I will be on the mic during the day, but spending the majority of the time with our traders here that are at my house. First trade of the day I took today, I went and shorted the overnight high, which worked early on in ES for 6 points. Flipped over to NQ to take a long to pop the top and take out yesterday's high for 8 points. Had a little ebb and flow trade then in ES on the long side. I only took a point out of that. So the market initially pushed up and it was acting very well. Remember, we had 2 distributions yesterday. We spent the majority of the early morning in the upper. We barely got into the lower distribution, but they tried a bunch of times. We'll get to that in a second. I was short B period in ES once we stopped the one-time, when we started one-time framing down and couldn't get back to the opening. Took that for a couple of points. Again, took a long when we got to the overnight POC. I said that's a good trade. I only held it for 1.5 points. We actually got much more out of that initially to the upside. C period in NQ shorted as we came back down through the opening. Okay? It went up and then took it back down through the opening. NQ had a lot more push to the upside than we did in ES. C never took out B. D barely got the opening. But look at this. They front ran. They had a poor low in C. Never took out the IB low because I'm in bigger increments. And then look at this, the way they front ran the IB high. We finally got the IB low. I took a long in E period in NQ when we did make a new low. I did not think we would go trend, and that was a good one for 16 points. Didn't do much else in the afternoon. We're waiting on the Fed minutes. I took a small long in G period in ES to fill the single prints for 1.5 points. And then I got very fortunate in H period in NQ. I thought we would stop the one-time framing, and I thought ES would also. Well, ES did. I made 11 points on the long, but boy, oh boy, we never stopped it, and it came back. And luckily, at that point, that's when one of the traders was coming, because if we had pushed back and I was still sitting in the room, I probably would have loaned it again, and we ended up making a new low on the day. That was it. No, actually, I did take. I didn't write down that short. I took a short in J period in NQ, thinking it could be the afternoon rally high. The first time it got up, again, I'm in different increments, but the first time it pushed up to value high, even ES at that point, they were good sales as both J period and ES and NQ backed off. But then the grind started. So why did we push higher? Well, quite simply, we always say, what did the market do? What didn't it do? Well, the market was trying to go trend 3 times. So right? It's just as important what the market didn't do. Once you couldn't go trend, and once the minutes came out and kind of confirmed that, everybody, or alleviated everybody's fears, all we did was rip these shorts apart and the grind started up again. Plain and simple, right? Tale as old as time. As far as destinations, and our volume was very weak today. Our volume right now in SPY, only 62 million. So we're not going to do anywhere near the volume we've done the last couple of days. So today's high is 436.58 in SPY. Today's low is 433.18. $3.40 range. That's it. For the upside in the S, 11.50, and for the downside is today's low at 77 and a quarter. And then briefly on the chart, here's the weekly. We keep talking about it. This is I'm very happy with the bulls have accomplished, taking out these 2 weekly highs and trying to get acceptance into this upper distribution. Okay? The goal is to stay above that 430 level in SPY and get more headway into here. If that happens, you have a chance for a new high on the year. Any acceptance back below this 430 level, well, you're going to trade in limbo for $10 between this distribution and this distribution. So since the bulls got this, I don't think they really want to give it up. And on the daily, you can still call it up, or you can call it up to balance. I'll call it up to balance since we had an inside day. Nice little hammer on today's action. I don't think the CPI should provide that much excitement tomorrow since the PPI didn't. Again, we'll never know, you never know until we see it with the ALGOs. But for now, we did a little consolidating today. We'll see if this is a rest period and we go up to finish filling this gap and go attack the 50-day moving average. Hope you had a good day trading. Thanks for the likes and subscribing to this YouTube channel. Enjoy your evening, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.